Hello everybody, welcome to Nutritious Fitness once again. My name is Kurt Dirksen, Certified Personal Trainer, your host here. Today let's talk about calories in, calories out. A very common conversation in various YouTube videos, but let's talk about being honest. Honest values, honest with ourselves about the values as far as calories in, calories out. Let's start first with calories out. We're going to go over some details about tracking that with various devices or guessing at it. I'll use a website that calculates as an example an activity and show you what I mean by being honest here. So let's have a look.
Okay, so let's talk about calories burned first and the honest truth. So I've got a calorie calculator up here on the screen, just a generic website, just as a rough estimate to give you an idea of what we're talking about. We're going to use a 200-pound individual with 25% body fat, and we're going to use an activity of walking a fairly brisk pace, 3.5 miles an hour for 60 minutes, 1 hour. Okay, so just a quick glance at a 200-pound individual walking 60 minutes at 3.5 miles an hour. The calculation comes to 460 calories. So let me put that in here. All right, now, if you'll see, 25% body fat on a 200-pound individual. The truth is their lean body mass, the body mass, the body weight, if you will, that actually burns calories rather than just storing them, is really 150 pounds. So I am going to change that calculation a little bit. Go back over to this website and say 150 pounds, 60 minutes, 3.5. So it used to say 460. We hit calculate. 345 now. So let me put that in here. 345 calories. So you can already see over 100 calories difference here if we're being honest about the body weight that one has that is actually going to do the work for us during the activity that we've chosen. That's a big difference right there. Now, the reason I have more on this document we're staring at here is we have to consider basal metabolic rate, BMR, for that 150-pound individual. So going back to a website, calculator.net, calorie calculator, I'll just use my age for this website. It does age and gender, my height, not overly important. Bottom line is 200 pounds, calculated a basal metabolic rate of 1,821 calories a day. There again, not a proper value. I'm not using that lean body mass, which is what would actually be burning calories while we're sitting still on a couch for 24 hours. So 150 pounds I'm going to put in here. Otherwise, everything else remains the same. Calculate. Ooh, look at that, over 200 calories down. We're down to 1,594 calories. Bringing this back up, we've got 1,594 calories to replace what I had here, the generic 1,000. 1,594 calories divided by 24 hours a day. Let me bring up a calculator here. 1,594 divided by 24. Ooh, lots of sixes there. Not an evil number though. Let's just say 66 calories per hour over a 24-hour period. Again, basal metabolic rate, what a 150-pound lean body mass individual would burn just sitting on a couch. All right, so now this is where more truth comes in. We didn't burn 345 calories as a 150-pound person doing our activity, 3.5 miles an hour for 60 minutes. No, sir. That was the total calories burned for that hour. But what if we had done nothing? We would have burned 66. So we got to go down and say, oh, we really burned as far as additional calories. Notice that word additional here. 345 minus 66. Don't feel like doing math in my head. 345 minus 66, 279 calories. All right, 279 calories. So you might have a Fitbit or some other device or an app on your phone tracking your activity, telling you burned, if you were this 200-pound individual, because you told the app or the device you're 200 pounds, 460 calories. But if you take into consideration what part of your body is really doing work, the lean body mass, and you remove the basal metabolic rate, that value of what you would have burned even if you had just sat completely idle on a couch, not even lifted a glass of water for an hour, you burned 279. Big difference from 460. So that's something to consider when you're planning your nutrition and your activities and deciding how much you burn and therefore how much you can eat to maintain weight, gain weight, or lose weight. Be honest, and I mean obviously from the demonstration here, be honest to an extreme. Okay, that's calories out.
Okay, calories out, an important calculation to be accurate and honest on. Now, calories in, food, eating. You need to be honest with oneself too. Whether you're trying to maintain weight, lose weight, or gain weight, you want to be honest as you can be. You don't want to necessarily nitpick in the kitchen. Get out your cup measures and measure every ounce, every milliliter, every cup, every half cup. Just be, how do I say, honest, not honest to an extreme in this case, but overestimate. I think I was eating by the handful chocolate chips. Good stuff, you bet it is. But based on the handful, I think a quarter cup per handful, and I had 2 handfuls, half a cup. Let's be honest, especially when we're playing around with chocolate, junk food, high calorie dense foods. Round up. You think it was a half a cup? Make it whole. Make it 1 cup. Not so important with something like broccoli, but nevertheless, let's have a look at the values on the computer just to kind of get an idea of what we're talking about.
Okay, calories in. Just a quick food calculator example here using WebMD site here. Broccoli. I was just talking about broccoli and chocolate chips, so I'm just going to use that as an example. Now, looking at broccoli, chopped, so not a whole lot of additional air fluffing it up. Cooked, in this case, drained. 27 calories for a half a cup. Let's say you're eating that out of a bag by the handful. Not likely how you're going to eat it, but nevertheless, let's look at that as 27 calories for that half a cup. Oh, I think it was a half a cup. Oh, round up to a cup. We're off by a whole 27 calories. All right. No big deal. Again, round up. Or if you happen to have a cup measure and you measured it to the half cup, by all means, track your calories as a half a cup. But again, if you have to guess, round up. We went a little over 27 whole calories. Okay, let's try chocolate. All right, now looking at chocolate, let's look at bittersweet, semi-sweet. There we go. Typical chocolate chip, chocolate, semi-sweet, 1 ounce. So let's assume a cup, 8 ounces, not really an assumption, a fact. And we had 4 ounces. We had 4 times 142 calories. Oh boy, there's that half cup, 4 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can see 4 times 142, roughly 560 calories. Ooh, but what if we were wrong? What if we were off by a little bit? In fact, we ate more than that half a cup. Let's just say 3/4 of a cup. Okay, 2 more ounces. 280 calories we missed. Here's where it's important to overestimate. When you're dealing with calorie-dense foods, as in this example, chocolate chips, semi-sweet, you don't want to be off. You don't want to be under. Or you'll say, look, I only had 2,000 calories a day and I gained 16 pounds in 6 months. No, you gained 16 pounds in 6 months because you didn't document your daily chocolate habit. So, or something along those lines. It could be gummy bears. It could be some other sugary food. It could be how much maple syrup you put on an otherwise somewhat healthy pancake. Or how much butter you put on that pancake. You put a nice thick pat of butter. It was more than a tablespoon, but you put 2 teaspoons or even a tablespoon when it was actually a tablespoon and a half. That kind of thing is going to add up very quickly. Try to get everything right, including your broccoli, your kale, your spinach, your corn, whatever. But consider those calorie-dense foods in particular. Always overestimate. And again, the same can go for other food. If you're trying to put weight on and you're overestimating everything and you're finding you're losing weight, okay, no big deal. Eat more. Continue to overestimate and you'll be safe. You will eventually gain weight as you desire. Again, most people want to lose weight or at the very least maintain what they've got. So it is important to be accurate to the point of possibly overestimating what you've eaten. Keep that in mind. Thank you.
Okay, there you go. Calories out, calories in. Hopefully found that useful. Do be honest with yourself again on everything, including like my example person today, 200 pounds, 25% body fat, the body fat measure. You could go for some fancy measure through some medical clinic or something like that. But I'll tell you what, a body fat scale that measures body fat, a handheld device, just use the same device all the time. Take its value at face value for what it's worth. It may be a little wrong, but the bottom line is we all have some body fat. If it's telling you you're 15 when you're 10, or if it's telling you you're 12 when you're 20, at least 12 is better than 0. You need to calculate for some body fat. So keep that in mind. Track things for a while. As far as food intake, consider an app on your phone, MyFitnessPal, something like that. Track your calories for a week consistently, daily, honestly. See what the scale does that week. Get some idea. Scale went up, you're probably eating a hair too much. Kind of average your calories per day and see what that average was and try to cut it back a little bit. You went down, well, lost a little weight. I'm talking a half a pound down, don't bother. But if you lost a couple of pounds that week or a full pound, you're eating a little less. Maybe that's what you're trying to do, to lose weight. Keep it up. But consider the fact that the value you have, your average daily, is a little low. If you're trying to maintain, then find that sweet spot, up or down, until you can go a week, 2 weeks without your body weight changing, and then you have a pretty accurate idea of what your daily calorie output is, whether you're super active, moderately active, or inactive. All right, thanks for joining me today. Remember, fitness is nutritious, nutrition is fitness, fitness and nutrition together are health. Thank you.